Well, that was close. Okay, right, here we go.
Serious?
Yeah. Cheers, bro. Good pass.
Munya, please. You've been doing this for 2 hours.
Okay, well, it's called persistence, Patrice. Yeah? Maybe if you had some, you would have won the Ballon d'Or.
It's Ballon d'Or.
Drogba, Pogba, same thing. Hello, I'm Munya Chawawa, and this is Deep Issue Massage, the show that tackles deep issues and deep tissues. Now, today's guest is footballing legend and former captain of Man U in France, although I should say he did used to play left back, so he could get a little defensive. It's Patrice Evra! Just out of interest, when you were playing, were you left or right-footed?
You should left.
Man U.
Oh la la.
What?
I think we should go for the massage.
Yeah, okay, cool. Through ball. Boom. Great hustle. Okay, that's why you're the best.
I love this game.
Never gets old.
I'm gonna definitely fall asleep.
Right, so this part of the interview is called facial expressions, and I'm gonna be real with you, bro. It's just getting a facial, having a chat. So, hands in. Let's do this. What do you think your friends would say that the craziest thing you've ever done is?
I think it's that when I lick that raw chicken. It was like Thanksgiving, and I'm not American, so I was like, making a joke with the chicken. I slap it a little bit, I kiss it,
Yeah, just normal things to do on Thanksgiving.
Normal things to do, on Thanksgiving. And then people, wow, that video go crazy. You're gonna get the salmonella. I say, I don't know this girl. Who is that? Simona, salmonella. What's like?
I'm actually with you on the raw meat thing, because when I was a kid, my mum took us to the cinema. She was like, we're gonna watch your favorite movie. I was so gassed. And I went in the fridge and I just saw this pot of bacon, yeah? So I was thinking, bacon, you only get to eat it at breakfast. Imagine eating bacon in the cinema. And then when I got home, my mum was like, where's the bacon? I was like, Mum, I ate it at the cinema. And she was like, that was raw. Imagine that. I watched Mulan whilst eating raw bacon. What athlete, even now, inspires you?
Who athlete I'm really connected to now is Tyson Fury.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's so real. And where he came from, win against the mental health and all of that.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love real people, and they never give up. They never fight excuse. I invite him to watch a game at Old Trafford. We spent 4 hours together, and since then we are so connected. And it's just United lost the game, of course. And he was like, Patrice, back in the day, I know if you were in the dressing room. And I was like, yeah, I know, whatever. I left. My PR company texted me. They said, did you see what Tyson just tweet? I said, no. He put a video where he was saying, now me and Patrice, we're gonna come to the training ground and we're gonna smack you all. I was like, oh my God. I love my club and you can't say those things. But but I love it, it's authentic.
Yeah.
It's real. You know what you're gonna get. It's not pretending, it's not acting. That's why I like Tyson.
Imagine your phone rings, yeah? And someone goes, Patrice, so-and-so wants to get you in the studio right now. Who would you want it to be?
I would say Kanye West.
Is it?
Yeah, because I think when you listen to his music, you see color. Definitely, I know if I go in a studio with Kanye West,
you'll make a madness.
He will blow my mind.
You kind of got Kanye's haircut now. You remember you used to have a big mohawk?
Yeah.
I had a mohawk, man, it was traumatic, I can't lie. In Norwich, in the village I used to live, there was no Afro barbers. So if you go in there and ask for a skin fade, they start using scissors. Yeah. So I asked for a mohawk, and I'm thinking, cool, let me get the one that Patrice has got, get the one that Kanye's got. Bro, I walked out, I looked like a punk rocker. They gave me the spikes. Oh well, you have to duck when you're walking through a door.
I've got that image.
You speak 6 languages, right? Did you ever master the British accent?
No.
If someone said to you, cool, Patrice, you're a spy now, you need to access this code with your best British accent, what would you say?
This is a tough one. Come on, Shaps.
You're auditioning for James Bond. I want you to say, hello, my name's Bond, James Bond. I'll have a martini, shaken, not stirred.
Hello. Hello, my name is James Brown. I would like an espresso martini and lobster.
It's a shaken, not stirred.
Shake and lobster.
Bro, it's not lobster. It's not stirred.
Lobster.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn over for the next part of the interview. This is called Pressure Points. So Patrice, this part of the interview is the real massage.
Okay.
Recently, you said you're only now just able to cry.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm so interested in it is because I can't cry. I think it comes from my upbringing. My dad would say things like, you've got to be brave.
Yeah.
And also, if you were sick, he would say, don't let your emotions get the better of you.
Yeah.
And one day I just went to cry and I was like, I couldn't. My tear ducts were constipated.
I love the way you put it. But like you say, it's all about your childhood, and we need to get rid of all that, toxic masculinity. Like my dad was crying is a weakness.
Yeah.
And I live in a tough street. You couldn't show your weakness, and so like you say, sometimes even I lose my brother and they die, and I was like the one laughing in the church, and people was like, Patrice, you're so weird. And every time I was like put it on because I'm from the street, because of my dad and everything. Yeah, it's a part of it. Yeah. But it's also, at the age of 13, I've been sexually abused. So after I just switch off all my emotion, but now I met the woman of my life, and she helped me, like I said, to get rid of all this toxic masculinity, and I feel safe. I feel like I can trust, and they will not judge. So now even if we watch a movie, I can cry, and it's just an amazing feeling.
I actually feel like men crying is not only something that we don't do, but I feel it's something that actually can be quite ridiculed as well. So do you remember Michael Jordan? There's a meme of him crying, which gets used all the time. Yeah. I've laughed at it a few times as well, but then actually I'm thinking to myself, if I see that now, you'll never catch me crying because I don't want to become a meme.
But you're absolutely correct, man, and that's the society, and that's the worst part. And if you see, for example, I tell you the story about a player was, we were on the plane, I went to the toilet and I passed him, and, I am crying, And I came back and I said, why are you crying? He said, because I watched this movie 4 times and I cry every time I watch this movie. And in my head, I was like, oh my God, do you want me to go to the war with this guy? So I sit next to my teammate, Carlos Tevez. I say, Carlito, can you believe that person was crying? But I say, you know what, don't tell to nobody. We land straight away in front of everyone. He was like, guys, that player was crying, and everyone laughed. And I laughed too. But when I think about this now, it's not funny. A real man cry.
Sometimes I think we get on because I actually think in some ways our lives are similar. You are an extreme athlete, I am not. But...
and your tears are constipated.
Dads are so important, aren't they? You're a dad. But how important do you think dads are in determining the men we become emotionally?
It's so crazy. You asked me about this because with the woman of my life, she said, before we had our son, she said, I want my son, our son, to look exactly like you, but I don't want him to be like you because you're too tough, you don't show your emotion. And this, I promise you, Munya helped me a lot because I was going to do the same mistake. Because, when he was going on the floor, I was like, come on, it's okay, don't cry and everything. And she teach me to say, when you go on the floor, you go and you say, why are you crying? It will be okay, I am here. You see that? And that's the way I've been educated, and that's the kind of mistake, like you say, we did. We learning. I think as a parent, you learn every single day. But this is really important to make sure we don't try to educate our kid the same way our parents educate us.
I would see the way that my dad was and the way that it's made me such a hard worker. Literally nothing will stop me from working. If I have a goal in my mind, nothing will come between me and that goal. My sister's just had twins and I need to go and see them. She's had twins, But I'm like, no, I need to work this weekend. I need to work this weekend. I need to be doing this. And then one day I was like, cool. If I have a son or a daughter, do I want them to be like that? I was thinking, no, I don't want them to be like that. And so that's going to require me to change the things that my dad taught me and go, you know what? I need to add a bit of softness.
The Patrice I am now, I will say more vulnerable, because it's not being soft or whatever, vulnerable. Did I will make the same career? No. Because in that world, and especially the football world, the toxic masculinity is at its best. So you can't show any emotion. You can't show you like you're vulnerable, you know. So that's the question. I'm like, you know, it come by time.
What you're saying is so true, because I think to myself, without some of those traits from my dad, I wouldn't work the way I do. I wouldn't have the same work ethic, and you wouldn't arguably be one of the best left backs in history. But it's about getting to a point where you realise, you know, men are not just machines.
I always say like I'm a machine, I'm a robot, you know, just winning. That's why I've been built like winning. Like Sir Alex Ferguson say, winning is not important. Winning is normal. And I've been like, you know, built with that winning mentality, everything. And I bring this to my private life. So I was competitive on everything. And people didn't want to play games with me because every time, you know, like if I play with my son or any video game or whatever, I want to beat him. But sometimes, you know, you have to relax. You have to chill, you know, it's your son. It's not like you're going to win a trophy. So, yeah, I think I had a great career, but also he affected me so much, like emotionally.
What about being a footballer? You know, what did being a footballer teach you about men and their emotions?
You know, I play I play some player. They were gay, but because I'm so open-minded, they were coming and talk to me, and they will never say it loud. You know, I remember my last club when I was at West Ham, and someone from the English Federation came and say, you know, we need to accept everyone. And some player, they were like going, man, are you crazy? And I was like, you know, guys, can we stop like talking that way? Because some people, they were, and I was like, we shouldn't judge people for where they are.
A lot of people now, more than ever, have this thing called imposter syndrome, where the minute you start doing well, you say to yourself, should I be the one doing well? Do I deserve this? Did you ever have imposter syndrome?
Yeah, a lot. Like even my life. Sometimes I wake up where, I feel blessed and grateful. Sometimes I'm like, why me? I work on it, and now, you know, I enjoy every like single moment. Like I'm someone, I live in the present. Like if you think about the past, you can live with regret. If you think about the future, we live with anxiety and stress. No, live the moment, enjoy the moment. Right now, you don't let me enjoy my massage because we are talking, but I would like to enjoy the moment.
Right, Patrice, it's time for the last part of the interview. And all I need you to do is put your head in this hole. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So Patrice, this part of the interview is called Chop Chop.
Chop chop.
We are going to receive the signature Kung Fu Chop treatment whilst asking questions from your fans. Ladies, let the chopping commence. Patrice, what is the last thing you kicked?
The little cow of my son.
A little cow, okay. What is your favourite British word?
Why not? I don't know.
That's not a word, it's a phrase. Patrice, have you ever dropped your phone in the toilet?
Unfortunately, yes.
Someone said, have you ever had a back sack and crack?
Back sack what?
Who is your favourite presenter, me or young Philly?
You.
Yes. Patrice, what's your worst habit?
Picking my nose.
What movie would best describe your life?
Scarface.
Would you rather fight a duck the size of a horse or a horse the size of a duck?
A duck of the size of a horse.
And time. Patrice, this has been an absolute pleasure.
I wanted to say I love this game.
You know, you can only say that if you say it in a British accent.
I love this game.
For now, he's been Patrice Evra, I've been Munya Chawawa, and this has been Deep Issue Massage.
And now I need to poo.